Happy Wednesday, everyone. Please mute your mics or your cellular devices, or if you are here in person. When you are called, you would unmute yourself, announce yourself and your relationship to your docket or to the property that is called. If you are here in person, when your docket is called, you will come up to the table to present your case. You'll also state your name and your relationship to the property. Okay? Mr. Chairman, we can proceed with the preamble.
In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1796, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conduct their meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile versions and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. All meeting activities being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Mr. Jacobson?
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Jacobson from the Law Department. Preliminary issues, the live stream. Can we verify that the live stream is on and functioning? Yes, it is. Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, as the Law Department has done since these meetings have gone virtual and or hybrid, law states its objection to the use of the chat function. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacobson. Ms. Davis?
Mr. Bradley,
Here.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Here.
Mr. Dink,
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we'll proceed with the first case, housing docket A99-23, 3405 East 114th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on April 24th of 2023. Appeal was received May 3rd of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vandover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Lakeisha Webb.
Hey, Ms. Webb, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
So as of right now, the trees have been cut down. I know that was one of the violations, and I do have contractors ready to begin. The tenant was evicted, and I just got the key back May 14th. So we have started working because up until that point, she wasn't allowing any of my contractors to come in. The bathroom floor has been fixed already. The trees have been cut down already. There was a dumpster there for the last 2 weeks, so we have a total clean out so we can get going. So I was just hoping to be able to extend it, just because I literally got the keys on the 14th of last month.
So how much more time do you think you need?
Um, ooh, I don't know what the time limit be, but as much time as possible, just to get the work done that needs to be done so it can be in good standing.
Well, you have everything in place. You have the contractors and I assume they have full permits for whatever work requires it.
Yes, so I didn't have them pull permits just yet because I didn't know, what this date would bring. But as far as right now, I do have invoices and quotes on how much everything's gonna be. I do have the finances for it. So they haven't pulled permits until I told them I would get in touch with them after today if I could get an extension so they can get started.
Okay, Mr. Vano,
Oh, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, this is a rental property. It's a two-family home. You can see by the photographs that, these are not conditions created by the tenant, right? There's a lot of deteriorated lumber and, just issues. My question, Mr. Chairman, is if the board, to the appellate, if the board doesn't grant an extension, what's the plan?
Ms. Webb?
Oh, I'm sorry. So both properties are vacant. So I'm just ready to get moving forward with the work on the house. I inherited the houses in 2022 of December, so unfortunately I got them in this condition. So I'm just doing my best to get it moving forward. Again, the tenant in the back house didn't allow the contractors to come in and work. So both houses are vacant, so I'm just hoping to move forward to get these houses really correct. So
there's two houses?
yes, it's a front house and a back house.
Okay,
So it's technically 3403-05 East 114th, but both houses are vacant.
okay, and they both are under the same address.
It should be 3403 for the front house and 3405 for the back house. On the actual Fiscal County site, it says 3403-05 East 114th, but they are two they're two single family houses on one parcel.
Okay, Mr. Vanover?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll defer to the board on more time. I think it needs to be kept very short. It looks like this structure has a considerable amount of deferred maintenance. I would ask that any resolution require that the properties remain vacant until all violations are abated. And that no more than 2 weeks to pull permits to do the work. This could have all been, the permitting process could be it could be in process already. There's no reason to wait for this hearing to do what the landlord is, what the investment property owner is required to do.
Okay, taking into consideration, you had to get a tenant out, my understanding, and that's been completed, so, we'll grant it from June 19th, 2 weeks to obtain 2024 to obtain the permits, and 120 days to abate all violations, and also that it shall not be rented until all of the violations have been completed. Motion?
Chairman,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Van.
we need a 120-day date, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sure. 120 would be October 5th, 2024.
So move. Excuse me, so move.
Is there another question?
no, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, good. All right, then, motion.
So move.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley
Second.
and second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket. Is housing docket A 173-23, 4120 East 155th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on August 18th of 2000. One second, Mr. Chairman. Issued on July 26th of 2023. Appeal was received on August 18th of 2023, requesting for 6 months to abate the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Van Nover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see Keith Marble in the participant panel, and they are not present in today's hearing.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, I did receive an email from the inspector stating that it is in compliance final. But I have not received anything from the appellant asking to withdraw the appeal today.
Through the chairman to the chief building official, can we confirm whether the property is in compliance or not?
So, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Jacobson, the inspection record on the violation notice does show that it was resulted as compliance final on 4/3/24.
In regards to the notice requirement, to the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. And with that in mind, and testimony from the chief building official that the property is in compliance, I would ask that that they get granted until today to comply.
Okay, we can do that. Mr. Vanover, you're in agreement?
Yeah, no objections.
Okay, so we're looking at June 5th, today's date, to resolve all the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Denk,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to him within 2 weeks. Thank you. Next docket is housing docket A 181-23, 3331 West 119th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and rental registration. Issued on August 11th of 2023. Appeal was received August 16th of 2023, requesting for time to abate the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vandover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Alexander Lacy.
Okay, you're kind of low. Can you turn it up a little bit?
Alexander Lacy.
Okay. Mr. Lacy, and if anyone else is giving testimony, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do, yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are here.
Okay, we had to put up a ramp, kind of an emergency ramp here to bring home my mother-in-law that was in a nursing home. And during this process, we received a letter about not having a permit. But we were able to, the whole goal was to get my mother-in-law home. We got her home and she only really used it twice. We had to bring her home and she was in hospice and funeral director had to, come pick her back up. But it was kind of an emergency rush to do this. And that's where we're at right now. We stopped working on it, as you can see in the photos. But we were waiting to get the permit so that we can finish.
Okay. And that's what this was all for, was for that ramp, is correct?
It was just an emergency job to do it. The hospital wouldn't let her home unless we had it. And that's what we did.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
So Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, my condolences. So the expectation at this point is to finish the ramp or to remove it?
We would like to finish it. My father-in-law would you would use it, definitely.
Okay, have permit applications been made?
Yes.
And they're with and I apologize, I just lost sight of my computer here. And they have been, so they're under review currently?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So between the two of you guys, which of you would like to speak?
I'm the one.
Okay.
Mr. Hall, could you please mute your mic?
Okay.
All right, bear with me one second. So, my question was, just to verify that we have drawings in the permit application before us. That's accurate?
Yes, I sent it in.
Okay. But Mr. Chairman, we don't object to more time. We don't object to 60 days to get the permits pulled.
Complete the complete the violation.
Yeah, to abate the violation of no
Okay.
permit.
All right, so we know we already applied for the permit, I believe.
Yeah, Vladimir for Bruce.
1 second, Mr. Chairman. Is that Attorney Brad Hall? Is that his name? Can you please mute your microphone? Thank you.
Okay, so because it's already been applied for to abate the violations, August 5th, 60 days, 2024 to accomplish that. Motion? Okay, moved by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket is housing docket A 194-23, 2228 East 80th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance issued on August 16th of 2023. Appeal was received August 28th of 2023, requesting for 180 days to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Please come up to the table. Could you repeat your name, please?
My name is Barry Sullivan.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
My plans are to finish fixing it on the deteriorated wood. I started putting siding on. They ran out of material. They didn't have no more stock, so I'm gonna have to go to Pennsylvania and get it. Winter had caught me, and at that present time, I did not have money, but I have other houses that's in court that I got off the condemned list. I have one more, and then I can focus solely on this house and getting the siding on the front porch done.
Okay, is this rental property or do you live here?
I lived there at one time, but I had to move in with my mother because my stepfather died and she don't like being in the house alone. So I have put a new roof on the house and I started putting siding on it. So I need about another 6 months and it will be completed.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, the initial 180 days request has since 2 months expired, right? That would have put us back in March. We don't object to more time. There is a permit in place for the siding. I do not, and to repair the porch, I do not see a permit for the roof. We don't object to more time, but we would ask as an investment property, no more than 90 days, Mr. Chairman. In 6 months, it's going to be back into the winter time and there's going to be more delays.
Okay, so we're looking at September 5th, 90 days, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Can you write your date down for me? I have to be back here.
You don't have to be back. You have to be in compliance by September. So. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All of you have a great day.
Okay, next docket is housing docket A 216-23, 5504 Train Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on July 26th of 2023. Appeal was received August 21st, 2023. Was requesting for 3 to 6 months to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Gallagher, I do not see Melissa or David Figueroa in the participant panel, and they are not present today in room 514.
Okay. Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson?
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, I did speak to Melissa Figueroa on Monday. She was aware that today that they had a hearing.
Okay, what was the substance of that phone call? Was it just, through the chairman to Ms. Davis, was it just asking about the hearing and?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, yes, it's the follow-up to make them aware that they did have a hearing this week.
Okay, and to the chairman, then, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with the hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vanover?
So, Mr. Chairman, this notice of violation was issued a year ago in June of 2023. There is a permit to make repairs, but this is also a rental property owned by an out-of-state owner who didn't even come to the hearing today. So we would ask that you deny any more time, remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing.
Yeah, motion is in order to deny more time and remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
a second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Dake,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Bradley,
Yeah.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Next, docket, housing docket A 220-23, 9902 Macon Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on August 24th of 2023. Appeal was received August 28th of 2023, requesting for 30 to 60 days to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
Yes, I have a very long Greek name, Smaragda Karakoudis, and I shortened it legally. There's a form you fill out. I'm sure council knows there's a form you fill out to shorten your name. So it's now Fleming. It's only 2 syllables. I don't have to spell my Greek name anymore. All right, may it please? I have a little tip for council.
1 second. You
Yeah.
have to be sworn in before you give testimony.
I'll raise my hand.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead then and proceed.
Okay, I have a tip for council before we go over this. Are
Okay,
you ready, council?
Always.
Okay, I was the city's lawyer about 20 years ago. I worked for Mr. Horton. I don't know if you know him, Earl Horton and Brett. Okay, so this is just a tip, lawyer to lawyer. As your consigliere, I'm going to give you some advice. The city has a liability. I was attacked at a bus stop. I have the report here saying that my nose was fractured. So,
Mr. Chairman, this is not a matter before the board.
yes, but it's just
this
a tip. I'm
is-
going to give you a
This
tip and
does
I
not have authority over
Okay.
matters. If she was a lawyer for the city, she's most certainly aware of matters or requests that she can make to proper authorities, not to this board.
Right, but it's just a friendly tip that the city
There's
has.
this is the board
city
is here to, you
is-
can talk to him later. This board is to be heard on these matters, and there are others waiting.
Okay, but what my message is to you today is that if you stop bothering me about my house, I won't come after you for what happened at the bus stop because I have it in writing.
Mr.
So,
Chairman,
don't
she
bother
can
me.
make whatever threats or allegations that she wishes. The city is here, and this board is here to hear these matters before it. This board has a charter mandate as to what can be heard by this, and it is limited to matters that it has authority over.
Okay, no more discussion on that issue. Let us know what your plans are for the property, please.
Okay, yes, I've done everything. The only thing I haven't done is paint the porch. I was going to do that. However, I did mention when I filed the appeal that there was an earthquake in Greece, and I have a picture of the house in Greece. I'm showing it to council right here. This is from my grandfather. I'm busy with the earthquake project, and so all of my energy is going towards that. So I haven't finished I think the last thing I had to do on the house in Cleveland was paint the porch. And I haven't done that yet, so I'm asking for a continuance.
For how much?
A continuance, maybe 5 months?
All right, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, for clarification, is she asking for an extension of time on the notice of violation, which there are 3, or is she asking for a continuance of this hearing?
That's a good question.
Both.
Mr. Chairman, we would object to a continuance of this hearing. These notices were issued in July of 2023. And
Oh, it wasn't issued in July. I just got the note from the inspector in late August, so that's wrong.
Late August 2023?
Correct. So nothing happened in July. Your facts are wrong.
To the chairman, the issue date on the violation notices is August 24th of 23.
Right. I was at the beach, and then when I got back from the beach in August, that's when I found the note.
then, Mr. Chairman, this property was inspected in July of 2023. It is now 11 months later. And we are concerned about the house in the city of Cleveland, not the house in Greece.
Right,
And,
so.
we would ask for, Mr. Chairman, if I would like to.
Yes, go ahead and
ask the
continue.
appellate that I be able to speak.
Go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, we don't object to more time, but not more than 60 days at this point to correct it. This will be the second summer that this condition existed. And, again, it's not going to be long before the
Painting
weather's
on my
going to become,
porch.
because the
It's my-
weather's going to become a condition. So we would ask for no more than 60 days.
Okay, and what's your name?
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, my name is Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official for the City of Cleveland.
Okay, and you're objecting to the extension of time, you're only giving me 60 days? When I just told you that I could come after the city? And-
Mr. Chairman, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah. All right, so what we're looking at is you don't have, I don't know is there any permits required, Mr. Vanover?
Right, the fence, okay, let's
That
talk
was-
about the
hold on.
fence, hold on, let's talk about the
I
fence.
know, that was a
Wait, wait, wait,
question
wait,
by
wait.
me to Mr. Vanover, and I didn't know if he knew that there was permits required.
Mr. Chairman, bear with me a moment and I will pull up the
Okay,
requirement. I believe it's general maintenance, but I want to verify to be sure.
okay.
I had a building permit
Wait,
for the
ma'am.
fence.
Ma'am, wait till the chairman recognize you for you to give your testimony. Please
Yeah,
stop.
Mr. Chairman, there is item number 2 on the notice of violation specifically requires that a permit is needed for the porch framing columns
Yeah, I think,
spindles.
think-
Ma'am, you do not have the floor. You have to wait till you are acknowledged.
Go ahead, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, there's a permit required for the porch framing, column, stairs, spindles that are missing. So there are permits required to correct these violations. And our records indicate that there has not been a permit pulled on this property since 2002 to install a fence.
no, again, your
If
facts are
you,
wrong.
could you
It was in
please-
2001, September.
Okay, and that's not a part of.
Mr. Chairman, this permit was inspected compliance final 8/10 of 2022.
Okay,
No, I got the permit. I went and got it myself. It was in September of 2021. You need to check your facts.
well anyways, that's closed out, correct?
Yeah,
I
it's
got-
not, and it's not part of this
I
notice
took
of
down-
violation.
Ma'am,
Let's stop that because we, that's not underneath what we're looking at here. So what we're looking at is that there needs to be a permit and I don't know that, do you have a permit pulled?
For what?
For the
I had-
porch?
Hold on, let's talk about the fence. I had a permit for the fence, okay? So you're wrong about the fence. Then I took down the fence because I have another house in Greece. I'm putting the fence on my other house.
Well, never mind the
Okay,
fence, because
So
that's
you
been
don't have
closed.
jurisdiction over the fence, okay? And the porch, the house was built in 1910. I wasn't born in 1910, so I don't need a permit for the porch. So if you keep bothering me, I'll come after you for the bus stop. Did you understand what I just told you?
Listen,
Your lawyer's right here. Do you
listen,
want me to come after you?
listen,
Ma'am, ma'am, the board does not have jurisdiction on the matter you're alluding to.
Right,
If
and
we-
I just
if we
gave you a
would say-
message. If you keep bothering me about this house in Cleveland, I'll come after you.
Mr. Chairman,
I
we
know
ask
it's
we
factual,
ask
and I
for a
have it in
motion.
writing.
Right jurisdiction
okay,
for that.
Right,
We're-
but I just gave you a message. I hope you got it.
okay, we're gonna rule on this because what we're looking at is that guess you're gonna need a permit if you want to get one, or you don't, that's gonna be up to you because
For what, for the porch?
in order to
Ada,
get this
please.
closed out, you're looking at June 19th, 2 weeks, 2024 to get your permit pulled, and 60 days, August 5th, 2024, to abate the violations. Motion,
So moved.
okay, moved by Mr. Dank. Is there a second in there? Okay, second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, the notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, next docket is housing docket A 221-23, 3470 Martin Luther King Drive.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on August 22nd of 2023. Appeal was received September 7th of 2023, requesting for time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official. Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, there's no Lynette Robinson in the participant panel or in person today in room 514 this morning.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, I did receive an inspector's report stating that this was completed and closed final.
Okay, and then to the chairman, the due process requirement of notice have been given to this appellant. The board can proceed with the hearing and its ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, this property, this is an owner occupied structure. To all indications of our records, there was a permit pulled and work completed as compliance final. So we would not object to a compliance date of today.
Okay. So we'll give a date of June 5th, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion? Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Housing docket A 224-23, 15734 Puritas Avenue has been withdrawn. We'll move on to the next docket is housing docket A 238-23, 3482 West 49th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance issued on August 25th of 2023. Appeal was received September 12th of 2023, requesting for time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. To the chair, I do not see anybody in the participant panel representing Scarlet Acquisitions LLC or Derek Caesar, who was the applicant to file this appeal on their behalf.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice have been given to this appellant. The board can proceed with the hearing and its ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, there's 2 violation notices on this property. One is for work without a permit, and the other is for exterior maintenance. Our records indicate that the permits have been pulled for the work cited. So we would ask that a compliance time of today be provided for that violation notice. And for the record, that notice is numbered V230-22304. However, there is still work unfinished on the exterior maintenance violation notice. And we would ask that that be remanded to the Department of Building and Housing for supervision under the permit that was issued. And the exterior maintenance violation is V230-22545.
Okay, so on the exterior one, what was your ask, Mr. Vanover?
We would ask that you remand that back to the Department of Building and Housing for supervision under the permit.
Okay. So I guess we can do this in one motion, but we have one that is for the permit number that you had cited that you want a compliance date as of today, which is June 5th, 2024, under that permit citement that you had made. And that also that the outside should be let's see. So the motion is in order to, we got to the permit, to work to the permit, is that correct?
Just, Mr. Chairman, deny and remand.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, so the motion is in order to deny and to remand it back to the city Division of Building and Housing for any further action.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Bradley.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Next docket is housing docket A14-24, 3245 West 88th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the garage issued on January 11th of 2024. Appeal was received January 23rd of 2024, requesting for time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see, and I'm not gonna even attempt to try to pronounce this name in the participants panel, but the spelling of the last name is Manirakiza.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson?
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, yes, I did receive a report from Inspector Brozovic stating that the permit was pulled and the garage was raised.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with the hearing and its ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, there is a permit to raise and rebuild the garage, and the notice of violation has been closed.
Okay, so we'll give it today's date.
No objection.
Okay, motion to abate the violation June 5th, 2024. Okay, moved by Mr. Denk.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bradley.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Housing docket A19-24, 15623, Pythias Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance, issued January 4th of 2024. Appeal was received January 30th of 2024, requesting for time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Beyond Underwood White.
Okay, Ms. White, solemnly solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Okay, so we have the outside done. I sent photos to let you, so you can see that we've done the siding. The last thing we need to do is the garage door, so we need time for that.
Okay, how much time?
How much time you need? Can we get like 90 days?
Okay, let's go over to Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, this is, yeah, there is a permit in place that obviously, and you can see the siding has been completed. We don't object to 120 days to get it completed. House looks good.
Thank you.
All right, so we're looking at date of October 5th, 120 days, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Discussion?
Yes, go ahead.
So if they're still there, Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, just make sure you reach out to your inspector
Okay,
because the violation notice is still open. So just reach out to the inspector and make sure that they're inspecting and updating on the progress so that when you complete it, the violation notice gets closed.
okay.
Okay,
Got
thank you.
you. Thank you.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, housing docket A 2024-2807 Henninger Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, no permit, and illegal occupancy. Issued on December 29th of 2023. Appeal was received January 31st of 2024, requesting for time to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Tom Zanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record?
Charles City.
Okay, Mr. City, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
I pretty much repaired everything. I've been calling the inspectors to come and take a look, but I've got no return call. I've been calling for 3 weeks.
Okay, so you're time-wise, how, are you okay time-wise? You just need an inspection?
Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, one of the notices of violation before us is no permit, but there is no, we have no record of any permits being pulled on this property.
Mr. Seti?
There was, yeah, no permit to change the illegal occupancy or to pull a permit for the work being completed.
There's no illegal occupancy. So I have less than 3 people living there.
And what about the permit?
What permit for what?
Okay, well, you're being cited for no permit, so I'm not sure exactly what work you were doing there, but evidently, as I'm seeing electrical box and some plumbing.
So the plumbing for the house everything was there before I bought the house. There's nothing wrong with the plumbing.
Okay, had it been inspected? Of course, you're saying you haven't had anything inspected, so.
Right, I've been trying to call the inspector to come and take a look. I haven't got no return call. I've been calling for 3 weeks. I even called to get through to the supervisor. They didn't even call me back either.
So, Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, this house was cited, it's a legal single-family home, and it was cited as a boarding house. for single room occupancies. As such, the appellant is objecting to the notice of violation for the illegal occupancy. And so, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, is this house being occupied as a single family home for single family purposes, or is it?
That's correct. I have less than 3 people living there. I don't know how you want.
And there are three related people?
No, non-related, but there's only 3 people living there.
Okay, and there's the 3 people living as a family unit?
Basically, yeah.
And Mr. Chairman, bear with me.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, are you leasing the property? Are they occupants subject to a lease agreement or
Verbal agreement.
are they related? Who are the occupants? Do they come and go as same occupants?
They're not related, you know.
So I think the question was, are they the same people that keep coming back? They're the same 3 people?
Yeah, the same people that have been living there for years.
They're not subject to a lease agreement between you and
I
the
never
tenant?
did a lease agreement with them. I could if I had to. I just never did, you know.
So it is a rental property?
Yes,
Is it registered with the rental
it
unit?
is.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, the citation is the occupancy of the structure has been illegally converted without required permits. The authorized occupancy is a single family home. The present illegal occupancy is a boarding room house with multiple tenants. Do the tenants pay the rent collectively or individually?
Collectively,
So you get one check for the rent.
pretty much, yeah.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, pretty much, or yes?
I mean, they split the rent up, you know what I'm saying, and they pay it.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, the question is, do they pay it individually or do they pay it together?
Together.
Mr. Chairman, bear with me and I will, bear with me a second while I pull up this, I want to pull up the notice of violation for no permit. So, Mr. Chairman, the no permit violation was written, obtain a permit for electrical work throughout, a plumbing permit, and then drain, waste, and vent lines. The appellate testified that the work was completed prior to his taking possession. Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, when did you take possession of the property?
So I took possession of the property in 2020, I believe.
So, Mr. Chairman, this inspection was born out of a complaint. And as with many other cases, when work has been installed without a permit, it's a buyer beware issue. There's an expectation that a permit is pulled, that inspections are conducted for the electrical and for the plumbing, even if it was in place prior to purchase. It requires a permit.
I could get the permits.
I think that's what the requirement is that you're gonna need to have that inspected and get permits for it, for the work that's already been completed. Is that correct, Mr. Vanover?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so you're gonna need to do that, and, is the other issue be solved, Mr. Vanover?
Mr. Chairman, I do not, I do not. We ask that we don't object to 30 days. Our records from the inspector, this will require a reinspection from Inspector Derritt. The reports provided to her in discussion was that the individuals live there individually and they're renting rooms. So it is being occupied as a single room occupancy, not as a single family home. But I believe that that takes more investigation, and we're willing to do that.
Would that be more in line with the zoning issue, or is that still fall underneath us?
The conversion of the property, Mr. Chairman, does fall under this board. There's a difference in the residential code between from single room occupancies as well as the single family homes.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to check on that, and so we can give, what was your suggestion, Mr. Vanover, for?
So, Mr. Chairman, based on the appellate has indicated that he's having trouble getting in contact with the inspector and that he can get permits. We wouldn't object to 30 days to get the exterior issues, the exterior maintenance inspected, 30 days to get the permits, and then to resolve the illegal occupancy issue.
Okay, motion is in order for July 5th, 30 days, 2024, to have the property basically inspected, and that would be the exterior and interior, to find out what permits are necessary, if any, at this point. Motion?
Oh,
So moved.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, discussion.
go ahead.
So that date is for him to have an inspection, so we don't have an abatement date, or I need to know how exactly I'm writing up this.
Well,
resolution.
it's basically for an inspection, because I think he's claiming that everything is basically done. The question is on the permitting and that, so we need to get an inspection, and that's what that's for.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
we would ask for 30 days on all 3 violation notices to abate the violations.
okay,
You have trying to call me, I can't get hold of it.
That's our supervisor.
okay, so for the total property for all 3 violations, we'll adjust that to be, that motion, to be for all 3 violations, and that they be abated by July 5th, 30 days, 2024.
So that's
Motion.
amendment to resolution, okay.
Yes,
So moved.
moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, okay, a notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to permit extension housing docket A 17423, 6820 Cashmere Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a request for a permit extension under B permit, under permit B, as in boy, 2203195. We received it on August 11th of issued on August 11th of 2023. Appeal was received August 18th of 2023, requesting for an additional 90 days underneath that permit. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the appellate or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see Charles Wilson in the participant panel or in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And to the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is an extension of a permit on a condemned structure. For the work being abandoned. We ask that you deny more time and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing. The last inspection on this property was 8/31/2023.
Oh, okay.
And from a condemnation, Mr. Chairman, that was issued in 2022.
Okay. All right, motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing or any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley? Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Permit extension housing docket A 17723 9615 Raymond Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This permit was issued on July 1st of 2022. Compliance letter was mailed out August 14th of 2023. We received the appeal on August 21st, 2023, requesting for additional 6 months under B permit B 220-17422. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see Ms. Hasbury in the participant panel or present in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process of requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is the second set of permits that have been issued on this condemned structure. The previous ones were closed due to abandonment. These will also be, these have also been closed due to abandonment. And the appellant's lack of attendance to this hearing just is further indication of their intentions regarding the follow-up and of this property. We ask that you deny more time and remand it back.
Okay, motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, Notice will be sent within 2 weeks. Next docket, permit extension, housing docket A 11-24, 2208 East 81st Street. It has been rescheduled to December 4th, 2024.
Can you read that again, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Address.
What do you need read? The
The
address?
address, yes.
2208 East 81st Street.
Thank you.
Okay. Next docket, permit extension, housing docket A 12-24, 6702 Longview Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a permit extension from a permit issued on November 18th of 2021. Notice of non-compliance was sent out January 12th of 2024. We received the appeal on January 22nd of 2024, requesting for an additional 180 days underneath B permit B 210-32047. Present for today's hearing, Chief Billing Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
So, Your Honors, my name is Brad Hull, attorney for the appellant. The appellant here, I'll let him.
Okay, Mr. Hall, I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
So I'm his attorney. I'm not testifying. I'm happy to offer comments as his attorney. I think he'd be the one testifying.
Oh, is he there with you?
Yep, he's here. Yep.
Okay, and that's, you're Mr. Fabry?
Yes, I'm the owner.
Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, so who's ever gonna be giving the testimony, go ahead and let us know what's going on.
Okay, so I would just plan to ask him questions and he'll answer the questions. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Vladimir Fabris.
Are you the owner of 6702 Longview Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103?
Yes.
Has the property been in your name at all relevant times since August 2 of 2021?
Yes.
Did you seek all 4 major permits for this property?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and did you complete the plumbing
Yes.
permit? Is that closed out?
Yes.
Did you complete the HVAC?
Yes, I did.
Is that closed out? Those permits are closed out as of January of 2024, correct?
Yes.
Did you complete the work on those two in approximately September of 2023?
Correct.
Okay, did you obtain an electrical permit E21032049?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you complete all the electrical work?
Yes, I did complete.
Okay, as of when? Approximately?
October 2023.
Okay. And who was the inspector for the property?
Inspector Ryan.
Ryan Tenney, T-E-A-N-E-Y?
Yeah.
Okay, did he pass the electrical?
No.
And why not? Did he give any reasons why?
Last time he came, it was September, and he found some minor issues, so I fixed it. And then in October, I tried to reschedule reinspection, and they told me the permit been closed because he come 4 times.
Okay, and so the reason that they wouldn't go out again is because they said they've already been there 4 times?
Correct.
Okay. Did the city then issue any order after you tried to get the reinspection?
Yes, I got this abandoned.
Okay, did the city issue an order saying that the permit was suspended because the work had been abandoned for a period of 6 months and no extension of time was requested or granted?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And did they close the permit?
Yes, they closed building permit and electrical permit.
Okay. Now, have you done any research on your own about whether the city has some law that requires a 4 inspection maximum and then no further inspections?
Yeah, I did. I asked them, and they told me there's no limit on the number of inspection.
Okay, and now as far as the 4 inspections that were done, what were those 4 inspections?
So these 2 inspection was done for the panel. It was a separate, I just connect the supply, the electric supply company rest. It was 2 inspection for the panel
Okay, so when was the first panel inspection?
in January 2023.
Okay, and did it pass then?
It's the second time it's passed.
Okay, when was the second time that it passed?
It's in January 2023.
Okay, so that's 2 inspections, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the next inspection?
It was electrical inspection by Inspector Ryan.
Okay, and approximately when?
It's maybe March or April.
Of 2023?
Yes.
Okay, and so was he inspecting the entire electrical system at that point?
Yeah, he checked the basement.
Okay, what was the results of that inspection?
He asked me to correct some issues in the panel, replace some breakers.
Okay, did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then did you have another re-inspection in September of 2023?
Yes.
Okay, in your opinion, what was the status of the electrical in September of 2023 on the 4th inspection?
It was fine. It was like problem was he asked me to put a combo smoke detector on each level. It was just it was hardwire, but it was only electric. It was only a smoke detector, no combo. So he asked me to put a combo.
Okay, and did you do that?
Yeah, I did. I finished like mostly all whatever he asked me. I finished in October.
Okay. And then that leads to when you've already testified, then you asked him to come out again and approve it, and he said, no, I'm not going out again.
Yes.
Okay.
He
So,
said he told me I closed the permit.
okay. So now, did you receive the letter from Mr. Vanover in January of 2024 saying the permit was suspended or abandoned?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And is it true that that you had suspended or abandoned doing any work for 6 months prior to January of 2024?
No.
Okay. Would you say the work was fully completed within the 6-month period prior to January of 2024?
Yes, so the plumbing been inspected and the past final inspection and the HVAC been inspected and the past and I painting building inspection, I painting electrical to close the building.
Okay. And you had asked in the 6 months prior to January of 2024, you actually asked the city to sign off on the work you had done, correct? And close all the permits?
Yes.
Okay. And the city refused to do that?
They refused to come to check electric.
Okay. And is it true that you can't close the general building permit until the electrical is approved? And
Yes, correct.
Okay, so that led you to then file the appeal that's here today, is that correct? Separate from the appeal, did you seek any additional electrical permits once the old one was canceled?
Yes, I opened new electrical permit
And approximately when did you do that?
in January 2024.
Okay, well, I think, did you open, okay.
Yeah, I pulled new electrical permit
Okay, and approximately when did you do that?
in January 30, 2024.
Okay, now did the city inspect under that new permit, the electrical?
No, it's been closed without inspection.
Okay, and who was the inspector?
Ryan.
The same guy?
Yeah.
Did he tell you anything or give you any reason to believe why he was closing that permit without doing any inspections under it?
He gave me some reason. He just told me I'm contractor. So
You're like a contractor?
yeah.
Okay,
You know, you contractor, you know owner.
okay, so therefore you're not allowed to work under the permit?
I mean, I don't.
From his point of view?
Yeah.
Lastly, do you know if between you and me, there was any correspondence with Dave Roberts from the city of Cleveland about this?
Yes.
Okay, do you know approximately when that correspondence was?
Last month, May 24.
Okay, and do you recall if I asked if essentially we could try to just get a new permit, get the work done, and then avoid this appeal?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what Dave Roberts said to me in response?
Mr. Chairman, is counsel testifying for the city's attorney and what he said?
I'm asking questions, sir.
That's what he said he would do. He's gonna ask him questions and then he would respond.
Okay.
Okay, how did Mr. Roberts respond to my email to him?
He told me it's more easy will be to just pull new permit and finish the work under new permit.
Did he say it would be, quote, easier and quicker and cheaper than the BBS appeal?
Yes, correct.
Do you have anything further you'd like to tell the board?
Yeah, I pulled the permit, electrical permit, but it's been closed without inspection. So,
Very good. I think we'll have no further testimony at this point.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, bear with me for a moment while I continue looking through the record. Because there are multiple permits, electrical permits pulled on this. For the record, the electrical permit ending in, based on our inspection records from Inspector Ryan Teeney, that the electrical permit numbered E210-32049 was inspected in March of 2023, and the electrical service turn-on request was then sent to First Energy to energize. The next inspection with was in September 20th of 2023, and the inspector indicates that this was a rough-in inspection, and the space was drywalled and the electrical work covered prior to the inspection. And then there was missing smoke detectors and bath lighting in sorry, my computer just glitched, and that there were tenants living in the house. And it was closed at that point, non-compliant, because the work had been covered without inspection. There was no indication of work being performed since the since the March inspection. So our position for this permit is that there was no additional work. They just drywalled it and moved people in, and therefore abandoned for the 6-month period. Mr. Chairman, to the board, the letter that the invalid permit letter that was issued, is that letter for the electrical permit ending in 8/59?
I'm sorry, is that question to me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, it is, okay.
Mr. Chairman, to Ms. Davis, the invalid permit letter before this board today, the electrical permit ending in 2859?
Through the chair to chief billing official, the only permit extension that was filed with this board was a B permit ending in number 47.
47. Okay, and Mr. Chairman, so that was, the invalid permit letter was issued
Invalid permit letter?
prior to pulling the electrical permit, re-pulling the electrical permit. So, there's no indication in our records that from the March inspection on the previous electrical permit until the current permit or the B closure, that work had been completed within that 6-month period. So we would ask that you uphold the invalid permit letter as properly issued. That being said, we ask through the chair to the appellate when the work on this condemned structure will be completed, if allowed to proceed under the permits that were issued.
Okay, that now is a question back, Mr. Hull.
Yeah, I think if we could have, frankly, if I could ask a question of Mr. Vanover, please.
Yes.
Okay, sir, when you are talking about the invalid permit letter, you're talking about the second permit ending in 859, is that correct?
No, Mr. Chairman, I was just trying to get clarification on what matter is actually before the board.
Well, I think to streamline this here, what we received as the letter here is the one dated January 4th, 2024. And I mean, nothing on this calls this it does say the permit has become invalid. So I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing here, only because my client tells me he didn't receive a letter denying the second permit is invalid. So I've only got one letter and it's dated 1/12 of 24. Are we on the same page with that?
We are on the same page. There was no second invalid permit letter.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know I don't know that there wasn't a second invalid permit letter issued.
Okay, and maybe just to streamline this, if I can I'm not testifying, I'm just trying to offer comments on what Tom said in response to this letter here. The letter is dated January 12th. I think we just heard Mr. Vanover say there was a finding that there had been no work for the 6 months between March and September. I mean, I think the letter says that the finding was that there had been no work for 6 months prior to when the letter was sent, which would be no work from July of 23 through January of 2024. And I think my client already testified that there was, and that there actually was an inspection during that time. Correct?
Yes, and plumbing permit been final in September, and HVAC been done in December.
And I think to Mr. Vanover's question about when will the work be done under either the old expired permit or a new one, I think your answer is it's already done.
It's done, and just waiting to finish, just waiting for inspector to come and inspect it. And the building, it's also just painting the electrical inspection, and all work is done. It's a beautiful house.
So, Mr. Chairman, so we don't object to extending the B permit that is before this board. However, we do believe it was properly issued. The board has the authority to extend it if they see fit, and the work is continuing. However, I will just post the information that the electrical inspection from September failed because the work was covered prior to, and there's no indication that any additional work was done from March. We don't object to reopening the building permit because that's what's before the board. But with the understanding that the electrical inspection failed because the work was covered and it was incomplete.
So that would need to be re-inspected.
Correct.
Okay. So we would require that, and a time, let's say, to complete the violations.
Mr. Chairman, the violations aren't before this board.
Okay, then to
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted, for a point of clarification, and through the chairman to Attorney Hall and Mr. Fabris, regarding the communication sent to the city of Cleveland regarding, did Mr. Fabris reach out to the city himself? Who the testimony was unclear about who said what and who reached out and how? Was it a phone call? Did Mr. Fabris make a phone call?
Yes, I pulled new electrical permit in January 30, 2024 to finish this electrical inspection, but I couldn't get an inspector to inspect the property. And it's
through the chairman. Through the chairman to the appellant, I didn't mean to cut you off, but no, I'm not asking about the permits. I'm asking about the communication you had reaching out to the city. Attorney Hall said it mentioned communication with Dave Roberts. Through the chair to the appellant, did you reach out to, how did you reach out to the city? How was that? You entered testimony that it would be easier and quicker and cheaper than the BBS appeal.
Can I answer that? I think he testified, just to clarify, I think he testified that's an email from me, Brad Hull, to Dave Roberts dated May 24th, 2024, that Dave Roberts responded to the same day.
I wasn't sure who sent that email and what the testimony was regarding who reached out to who and how that communication was. I just wanted to clarify that.
Did we reach out to the city?
Yes,
Communication.
yes,
Okay.
we did.
Okay, well, I think what we're looking at here, Mr. Vanover, is to extend this permit.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we don't object to 90 days extension with no further extensions.
Okay, and we'll also require you to bring the inspector in on that electrical to inspect it, to make sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
that permit was not filed before us, only the B permit. Nothing to do with the electrical.
well, he's gonna have to ask that we're gonna extend whatever's necessary to have that re-inspected. And I think that's what Mr. Vanover's asking for on the electrical end. And you know, if it's covered, he's gonna have to work through that to make sure that the inspection is proper and can be accepted. And so we're gonna give him 90 days to abate the I guess, to extend the permit. Okay, I think that's the proper language. So September 5th, 90 days, 2024 to extend the permit. And then it would close it out with no further extensions beyond that point. So whatever.
If,
Oh, it's moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes. Discussion, it's Mr. Hull, through the chair. I think Mr. Hull had a point.
I just, not really a point so much for here, just for making this work. If we have any trouble getting the inspection scheduled, Mr. Vanover, can I just reach out to you?
Yes, well, the permit holder can. That's the best way. He can reach out to me to get the inspection scheduled. That's absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, the next docket is permit extension housing docket A 13-24 908 Parkwood Drive.
Application and fees are in order. This is a permit extension request for B permit B 210-17877, issued on June 29th of 2021. An inspection date was on January 4th of 2024. The appeal was received on January 23rd of 2024, requesting for additional time underneath the B permit. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Billing Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record? Say it again so he can hear you.
Sean White.
Okay, Sean White's what I heard. All right. Mr. White solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are here.
Well, I mean, I just passed my plumbing and my heating. I have my electrical, which I'm calling next Tuesday to try about to finish that up. All my power's on upstairs, downstairs, I got a couple more things to plug into the panel box. Outside of the house is, the structure is solid. I'm missing like two boards on the ceiling on the second floor porch and a rail on the back porch. That's about it outside.
Is that your sign off?
Yes. it
Can I
is.
make a copy of that too?
And I mean, I'm the only person in the house working on it, so it's been a while. I have a lot of things going on in my life, and it's like when I got the house, I didn't just go straight for the electrical, plumbing, and heating just to do that. So when I got all the plumbing ran, I ceramic tiled my bathrooms, floors, and that's how I was moving along until they told me that you had to have it all done at a certain time just to permits. So that's when I didn't really want to stop doing, putting walls up and everything else. That's what held me up now. Plus, I worked 2 jobs trying to build up money to build the house.
Okay, so you have quite a bit of the work done.
Oh yeah, second floor is done. I mean, certain things I have left on the second floor is like sanding and polyurethane in the living room and dining room. I have rugs down in the bedrooms. The second floor is painted. Everything's done in there. I guess I'm only working by myself every day, so. I
Okay.
have a team of people.
All right, let me go over to Mr. Vanover. Mr. Vanover.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellate, there has been no electrical inspection on this property to indicate that the work indicated has actually been done. There have been, since the invalid permit issue, there have been calls and received inspections for plumbing and for heating after the fact. So we do not object to a permit, to an extension with more, for 90 days to complete the requirements, with the understanding that the electrical work has not been approved to cover. And there's a need for inspections on both building and electrical.
Okay. All right, so the board will grant to September 5th, 90 days, 2024, with no further extensions. And you heard that there's going to be a requirement to have the electrical and the building inspected. So we expect to have all that done with no further inspections. Motion?
So moved.
Well, moved by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks.
You have a
Question,
question?
you said get it finished with no further inspection, so what do you mean by that?
No, not further inspections, no further extensions.
Oh, okay.
Right, no, you'll have your inspections, but no further extensions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next docket is docket A 1624, 12701 Lock Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a request for extension of a permit that was issued on June 3rd of 2021. Inspection was conducted on January 4th of 2024. Appeal was received January 26th of 2024, requesting for additional 60 days underneath B permit B 210-13879. Present for today's hearing, Tom Zanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record. Through the chair, Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Troy Reeves in the participant panel or in person in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Vanover, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson?
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Vanover?
So, Mr. Chairman, this was, the building permit on this project has been, several requests from the inspector to gain access, left tags, left, business cards, and made phone calls to, with no response. The building, plumbing, and, electrical, and bear with me as I check the HVAC. So yeah, the building, plumbing, and electrical permits. The inspectors have attempted to reach the owner, received no inspections. The heating permit is for a certification required. There's been contact requesting that and have not received that. So there's no indication on any of these permits that any work has progressed. The inspectors have attempted to make contact and have been unable to do so. We ask that you deny the request and remand it back to the Department of Building and Housing. This is a condemnation that dates to 2018.
Okay, so a motion is in order to deny the request to continue with the permit and to remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion by Mr. Bradley,
Second.
second by Mr. Dink.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. All right, the next one is a permit extension housing docket A 17-24, 1366 East 170th Street.
Application and fees are in order. This is request for a permit extension that was issued on July 7th of 2021. Inspection was done on January 4th of 2024. Appeal was received January 29th of 2024, requesting for time to complete work underneath the permit B 210-18400. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Unita Calhoun. Did you hear, Mr. Chairman?
No, I did not.
Unita Calhoun.
Calhoun? Okay.
Yes.
Is that Ms. Calhoun? Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what's going on there.
So I had 2 inspections that was complete. I sent some pictures. And I sent a copy of the signed paperwork that the inspector signed off on. So I think it was the plumbing and the heating. And then they came out for the electrical. He came out a couple of times. The last time he came, he said that I had to have my smoke detectors hardwired and that they would have to be in sync when they go off. And I was having an issue with getting that done and finally got it done. I did have a video of it, but it wouldn't send. So if you want me to play it on my phone or something, or if you could come back out and inspect, I would be completed with my electrical situation. And then the structure, I don't know what he's gonna see or expect, you know, I don't know that process. So I don't know how much time I would need. It depends on what it is that he sees when he comes out.
So you're saying for the structure?
Pardon?
You said for the structure?
Yeah, the last, I guess the last person that come out for the inspections. Is that for the structure?
Structure's a whole house.
She's talking about on her goldenrod. I forgot to upload those today, but I am sending those pictures to, Chief Building Official Tom Vanover, Dan Jacobson, and I will be emailing you guys what has been done so far.
Okay, Mr. Vanover.
So, Mr. Chairman, the plumbing inspections were completed in December of 2022. The electrical inspection that was being testified for the interconnected smoke detectors was also done in December of 2022. There was another electrical inspection in January of 2023 with additional work required, and then nothing since then. So the building inspector indicates that he's left tags for the owner to call, that in 2022, there was some compliance, but no indication of anything being performed since then, with the inspector trying to gain access to inspect. And then the heating certificate was inspected and issued in September of 2022. We don't object to a brief extension, but not more than 90 days to complete the renovation of the home.
Okay, so that would be September 5th, 90 days, 2024, to extend the permit till then with no further extensions, and get the work completed. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley? Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice to be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe the last docket is permit extension housing docket A 18-24, 2194 Junction Road.
Application and fees are in order. This is a request for a permit extension that was issued on October 12th of 2022. Inspection was conducted January 11th of 2024. Appeal was received January 30th of 2024, requesting for more time underneath B permit B 220-27114. Present for today's hearing, Tom Vanover, Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney or representative, please state your name for the record.
William D. Keys, Jr.
Mr. Keys, you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
Well, currently, I was severely trying to get out of the house when we had the fire. So I've been working on the house myself when I can, but that's been limited, and I'll get that. But the main reason they said they pulled my permit was because they said I had failed to communicate with them, and somebody from downtown called me and warned me that I needed to communicate, and that they would, if I didn't get back to them within a certain amount of time, they would pull the permits. So I had my daughter email all the inspectors. 3 of them came out, said they were perfectly fine with continuing the process. They said they understand, I have no insurance and I'm disabled. So so far I've put about $20,000 into the house. I had another 10 I could have spent on the house, but the water department decided to slap a lien on my taxes, and I went and got put on a payment plan for this. So then I went and paid my next installment on that, and I kept looking online, and it kept saying it was pending. So I finally went down after about 2 months, but not showing it had been paid, and they had sent my house to the prosecutor's office to go up for sheriff's sale, even though my bill was paid. So then I had to go get the money and pay them up in full to get it out of foreclosure, even though it was not my fault. So 10,000 of the money I had put earmarked to put into the house is gone. Okay, so they made it extremely difficult on me, and I've attempted on numerous times to work out something with the water department because I don't owe these bills. They put a new water meter in about 20 years ago, and my bills immediately tripled. And I looked in the vault in my driveway, and it's pouring water where they connected my line to their meter. I have repeatedly requested them to come fix it, and they didn't. A couple of years ago, a power line from Cleveland Public Power fell across my line, and where it was grounded to the line in the basement, it blew it in two. Well, that backfed all the way to the street and blew the lead pipe in two. So when they came out and fixed that, they were getting ready to close everything up, and I asked the contractor, I said, could you fix that drip right there? As soon as he fixed that drip, my water bill went down by 2/3 per month. Okay, I don't wash cars at home, I don't do laundry at home, and I'm getting big, ridiculous bills, and I've been paying them all along as much as I can, a couple $1,000s here, a couple thousand there. But they put that on my property taxes, and then somebody misplaced my payment for some reason. I had to go down there and take the actual bill with them and show them that I had paid it down there in person. But then they told me there's nothing they could do for me unless I paid it up in full. My house was going up for sheriff's sale. So then when they called me about this, about contacting the inspectors, and I need to go back a little bit. When the house first burned, I attempted to get an inspector out there to inspect the house so I could even pull permits. Because when I called downtown, I tried. They said, well, we have to have an inspector's report before we can even issue you permits. I believe that was Tony Barazik or something like that. And of course, this was during COVID, and I kept trying to get a hold of him by phone. I did not have an email address for him. So I went and tried to get a hold of a supervisor, but during COVID, I could not get any response. So it took them a year and a half to finally get an inspector to the house to condemn it so I could even get the first permits. And I'm not going to lie to you, I got a little overwhelmed with the situation, and I signed an agreement to sell the house after I first got the permit. The guy sent me a letter showing that he had put good faith money up with a title company and that we would close within 30 to 60 days. So after that time run out, I attempted to contact the guy, and he said, well, I've reevaluated and I can't pay you what I offer. I said, okay, then, you put the good faith money up, that's mine, right? He said, well, yeah, it is. So when I contacted the title company, it was a big scam, and I do still have records of that. And I'd signed 2 other agreements trying to get rid of the house because the inspectors keep telling me, well, since you don't have any insurance money, you really should sell to a developer. Well, every developer I've talked to turns out to be a crook. So at this time, my daughter is going to check into getting a loan so that we can have somebody come in and finish the stuff. I replaced all the windows in the house. I put a new front door in the house. And sorry. And we have all the materials there to do the bathroom. We have most of the materials to do the kitchen. Most of the damage to the house was smoke damage or done by the fire department. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. In the meantime, somebody kept reporting a gas leak at the house. So the gas company come out and dug my yard up, said it was my gas line. Well, they got out there and beat on a pipe for 3 hours before they finally made a hole in it. So they patched it, 2 months later, it's the same thing, gas, gas, gas. So finally, after they tore it up a couple times, I told them, look, cap it and leave it disconnected until I get the house ready. So the heating and cooling inspector came out and he said, well, I have to inspect this. I said, well, you can check the air conditioning. It still works. I said, I put a new thermostat in. That's the only thing that was damaged in the fire. I said, the air conditioning comes on and works fine, but there is not currently a gas line. So I've been attempting to get the gas company to do something about that to no avail.
Mr.
So they
Chairman,
came,
if I may, there's obviously been a considerable amount of hardships relating to this property. It's the fire happened as testified, before or during COVID. So it's been in this condition for a considerable amount of time. I will state for the record that there is no requirement for a violation notice prior to permits being issued. However, short of a violation notice from the inspector, the property owner is required to bring design documents and plans showing the work to be completed. And the violation notice from the inspector removes that or lightens that barrier. So it's not a matter of not being able to get the permit without a violation notice. It's a matter of being able to get the permit without full design documents. That being said, we don't object to an extension of time with the understanding that 90 days is going to be the limit to get this corrected and repaired. Whether it be a matter of getting a loan or getting other resources, I can't opine on that, but we don't object to a 90-day extension and no further extensions to get this completed.
Okay, motion is in order for September 5th, 90 days, 2024, to extend the permit with no further extensions after that. Motion,
So moved.
Mr. Denk,
Second.
Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley? Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, a notice will be sent out to you within 2 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Keys.
okay, I have one further question for you. What happens at the end of this time? I borrowed $30,000 put in this house that I've just put 20 into. And then you tell me that somehow they're going to take my property or something for me if I can't comply in that time. I I understand there's probably I might have to start over or whatever happens. I'm ignorant to the facts in this case. So I was going by what the building inspector himself told me and what they told me downtown when I went and tried to get the first permits. They told me I had to have his condemnation before they would issue me permits. And that's exactly what they told me. I have witnesses who were with me at the time.
Mr. Chairman, if I can provide some context or some information. As long as the work is progressing and inspections are progressing, and these are inspections that show work is being done. It's not just inspection, it's not just talking to the inspectors. As long as the work is progressing, the permits will remain open and you will continue to progress and finish it up.
All right.
If the work becomes abandoned and you're not completed or substantially completed by the September 5th, your permits will expire, and that's when the administrative enforcement and new permits and all of those things come into play.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next order of business is the approval of resolutions, dockets A 402, 403, 405, 407, 411, 23, dockets A 324, A4, A5, A7, A9, A10, A51, 24. Motion?
Motion for approval of resolutions.
A motion by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley? Yes. Ms. Lipscomb?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Approval of minutes for May 22nd, 2024. Are there any additions or corrections?
No.
Motion?
Motion for approval of the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Ms. Lipscomb.
Mr. Bradley,
Yes.
Ms. Lipscomb,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, there's no further business? Are we all set?
We're all set.
Okay, so the meeting is over. Thank you.
See you,
Thank
folks.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.